Good morning, everyone. Today we will be discussing developing leadership skills. We will be examining characteristics of a leader, key abilities necessary for competent leadership, and methods to hone these abilities. Let's get started. To gain insight into the development of leadership skills, we will begin by examining the present circumstances and exploring a definition of leadership. Further, we will review the activities of a leader and focus on vital leadership capabilities. Lastly, we will consider methods to cultivate those leadership qualities. Modern work environment presents unique challenges to organizations and their leaders due to global competition. This has caused a ripple effect, changing the way business, government, education, and healthcare operate. Organizations must keep up with customer demand by continuously adapting and evolving, requiring a shift in how leaders manage operations. To stay ahead of the curve, utilizing innovative strategies and practices is paramount. In a world where expectations have changed, we now have two jobs to do: doing and improving. We need to find a way to balance the workloads of these two tasks in order to be successful. Instead of simply going to work, doing the job and then returning home as was expected in the past, it is now necessary to make sure to also identify ways to improve on how the job is done. Leadership is commonly seen as the capacity to motivate and convince others to take action. Quotes from Dwight Eisenhower and Bill Gore provide evidence of this idea. However, leaders do not only persuade, they guide individuals or a group of people from a certain position to another, assisting to identify and enact necessary changes. Real leadership demands bravery, sensitivity, and modesty, yet it can be a substantial strength for the better. In comprehending the significance of leadership, we can join forces to create a better future. Leadership is a valuable asset that cannot be understated, regardless of a person's field of expertise or occupation. Leaders come in an array of varieties, such as political, military, business, academic, religious, sports and statistical. Every type of leader offers something unique. With deliberate practice and proper guidance, anyone can refine and grow in their leadership capabilities, allowing them to efficiently guide their team to its desired goal. Leadership entails more than simply managing processes. It necessitates the capacity to lead and nurture individuals. This calls for the proactive adoption of diverse approaches and taking necessary actions to bring about meaningful progress. Additionally, it necessitates the capability to preserve the gains achieved through these modifications by managing processes within the present framework. By combining leading and managing, one can acquire the proficiency needed to be a successful leader. Leadership entails much more than simply setting a direction. It involves managing resources in a way that efficiently and effectively achieves desired outcomes. It necessitates effectively leading people, providing them with clear communication and direction, building successful relationships through coaching, and incentivizing successful results. It entails monitoring processes, seeking customer feedback, and adjusting operations to ensure customer and employee satisfaction. Ultimately, it is about establishing and maintaining efficient and healthy processes that generate customer satisfaction. Leadership is not only about the actions taken, but also the manner in which they are done. It is therefore essential to invest time in both doing and improving work. According to the available data, executives should assign 90% of their time to improving work and 10% to executing it, while managers should dedicate 70% of their time to improving and 30% to doing work. Those in other positions should spend 70% of their time on doing work and 30% on improving it. By considering this distribution in accordance with one's role and mastering both doing and improving work, one can become an accomplished leader. Leadership is an essential element of any successful organization. In order to become a leader, there are several key qualities that are necessary, including providing direction, effectively communicating, enabling others, coaching, counseling, and acknowledging accomplishments and proper behavior. Leaders should always strive to remain effective in these areas so that they can lead their team in the right direction. Leaders need to clearly articulate the vision, set objectives, and establish goals. To reach those goals, strategies and initiatives must be designed and implemented. By providing direction and motivation, leaders can help their team to reach success. Leadership skills are critical for achieving success in any organization, and businesses should continually strive to improve them. John Kotter's 8 stages of successful change offer an effective method of doing so. Start by creating a sense of urgency to motivate people to act. Then, develop a positive vision of the company's future and build a guiding coalition to make sure everyone is on the same page. Additionally, having champions involved is key, as they can be a driving force behind the initiatives. A clear vision and strategy should also be established to ensure everyone is on board with the changes. Implementing the Six Sigma process can help boost the company's position. Additionally, consistent communication and empowering employees to take on more responsibilities can help generate momentum and short-term victories. These achievements should then be safeguarded and cemented in the culture to ensure the changes remain in place. Recruiting experts such as black belts, green belts and master black belts will provide the required support. Having a clear vision is essential in order to point the way forward and create a sense of urgency to act. It is important to have a strong and respected leader that people can look up to and follow. Participation from everyone involved is a key ingredient to ensure success. Communication is necessary to create tight networks and patterns. Training and education can help empower everyone to work together as a team. Finally, rewards and recognition are necessary to reinforce and sustain the changes. Communication is undoubtedly essential, and thus it is crucial to ensure that our messages are delivered in a clear, concise, and persistent manner. With the facility of various media available, we can make sure that everyone receives and comprehends the facts accurately. Life has its own set of dangers and prizes. We should take risks to achieve our ambitions, for this way we can learn from our errors. Leadership entails not only supplying the necessary resources of people, time, and money to enable others to succeed, but also providing training in necessary skills and methods, removing any possible hurdles that might impede progress, and coaching and counseling employees to bring out their utmost potential and ensure the success of the organization. Leadership involves more than exhibiting exemplary behavior and motivating others. It also necessitates acknowledging and remunerating commendable work. Taking note of successes, through both psychological and financial rewards, can encourage the team's preferred behavior. Obtaining comments and appraisals from management is useful in assessing and progressing performance. Leadership entails much more than merely handing out orders and expecting everyone else to comply. It is about inspiring, constructing connections, and cultivating an enhanced comprehension of one's team. To be a successful leader, it is important to lay out requirements, stay in contact, furnish assistance, direct, mentor, supply resources, praise success, and reward desirable behavior. It is by taking on these responsibilities that one can foster a climate that motivates their team to reach for excellence and greatness. Understanding the Dalton model for career development is essential when working on improving one's own leadership skills. The model is divided into 3 main roles: apprentice, colleague and mentor, sponsor. Apprentices help and follow directions, colleagues become independent contributors, and mentors, sponsors develop people, build networks and shape the direction of the organization. Developing effective leadership skills in each of these roles is key to overall career development. George Fisher, CEO of Motorola and Kodak, has a remarkable and uplifting story. From a young age he had a keen interest in mathematics and sought to grow his knowledge further by obtaining a PhD from Brown University. This passion for mathematics set George up with the technical skills necessary to thrive in the corporate world. He also realized the importance of being able to inspire and lead his teams with both technical expertise and the ability to collaborate with others, key elements which have contributed to his success as a leader in the field. It is a lesson to any aspiring leader that success requires both an in-depth knowledge of your work and the ability to work with others. Leadership is an essential skill that can be cultivated by having the right resources and motivation. Quotes in this slide emphasize the magnitude of leadership and the abilities needed to foster it. Reverend Theodore Hesburgh understood that having a vision you can express compellingly is essential to leading. Furthermore, President John F. Kennedy believed that both learning and leadership are essential to one another. A leader needs the necessary skills to guide the team, and these capabilities must always be enhanced and advanced. Having an ultimate goal is essential for effective leadership. John Madden encourages to pause and consider the situation before proceeding, emphasizing the importance of proper preparation. Benjamin Disraeli's words highlight that sticking to one's initial motivation is essential for success. To gain more understanding of poverty, let us delve into the topic. Leaders have the ability to steer and determine what the future holds. The metaphor of life being like a dog sled team, where the lead dog is the only one to experience changing views, conveys the same understanding. Other sayings we came across likewise emphasize the role of followers in the leadership process. To better hone our leadership qualities, let's consider how social media is influencing our capacity for leading. Leadership involves more than simply having knowledge of what is to be done. It necessitates being proactive in understanding why certain actions are necessary. A thorough comprehension of motivations, behavior, and mindset is indispensable. In order to make strides as a leader, knowledge, skills, as well as the right attitude and enthusiasm are all necessary. By implementing these concepts, from Covey's 1989 work, it is possible to cultivate the leadership qualities necessary to make positive changes in life. Understanding the fundamentals of business is a necessary component of effective leadership. Leaders must be able to comprehend the major and minor details of the business, strategize, and form connections with stakeholders. Communication is key, requiring individuals to express their thoughts in a clear and concise way, while regularly interacting with constituents. Finally, leaders ought to be able to assess their decisions, mentor their peers, and utilize efficient improvement tactics. All these elements are essential for developing successful leadership. Business leaders must have a deep understanding of a wide variety of systems and processes in order to be successful in today's complex world. The diagram you're seeing outlines the 12 fundamental areas of knowledge and skill that leaders must be familiar with. These areas encompass everything from marketplaces, legal regulations, product design, and customer satisfaction. Leaders must have an understanding of how all of these different elements coexist and be able to transition between them in order to make informed decisions that are beneficial for their business. Strategic planning is essential for successful leadership. To create a robust plan, the mission, vision, and core values of the organization need to be incorporated. Additionally, objectives, strategies, goals, initiatives, and deployment must all be taken into account. If these elements are strategically balanced, it guarantees that all members of the organization are in agreement and that the organization is poised to reach its intended goals. Leadership calls for the capability to recognize chances to form and answer to the wants of the team. It necessitates a willingness to take risks and attempt new ideas, being aware that not every trial will be successful, Modes of behavior, such as acceptance and reactive, purposeful and ego-driven, can work as effective resources to evaluate the possibility of a fresh concept. Acknowledging the time and money involved for any new project is significant. However, when done suitably, it can be of gain to the specific and the team. Hence, rather than backing out, why not confirm to making it work? Let's begin. Many people may initially react negatively when faced with a new idea. Saying things such as, "This will never work," or, "The cost is too high," are common reactions. However, those who seek personal benefit of the idea may enter the ego phase. Here, the pros and cons of the idea are weighed up and considered. If an idea is deemed to be beneficial to all, the purposeful phase is entered and action is taken to make the idea happen. Understandably, not everyone progresses through these phases at the same pace. When developing a leadership plan, it is essential to not only seek input from different stakeholders, but also to continue to adjust it according to their opinion. Once you have a plan you are sure of, present it to the stakeholders as a collective and inquire if they will approve it. This activity of seeking out input and incorporating it into the plan is known as shopping the plan around, and helps to construct stakeholder approval. Leadership is a fundamental capability in any organization, requiring an appreciation of the various grades of accountability and activity in the workplace. It necessitates considering beyond the customary hierarchical arrangement and comprehending the strategic, managerial and operational roles in achieving the job. Executives, supervisors and other staff must collaborate for the organization to accomplish its objectives. To do this, organizations must have managerial approaches to direct them. To ensure a successful meeting, a purpose and desired outcomes must be defined, along with an agenda that outlines meeting roles. These roles include a leader to manage the meeting, a facilitator to conduct it, a scribe to record the ideas, issues, action items, and parking lot, a note-taker, and a timekeeper. Leadership is a vital ability that necessitates practice and guidance. For a meeting to be successful, certain roles must be discharged. The scribe takes down the conversation points, the note-taker makes sure everybody's remarks are registered and written down, the meeting leader steers the talk, the timekeeper keeps an eye on the clock and sees to it the meeting is finished within the allocated time limit, and the facilitator encourages the conversation. Every role requires its own set of competences, so hone and cultivate your leadership skills. Defining the project and calculating its financial impact are the first steps of the DMAIC process, part of the Six Sigma improvement model. Listening to the process is necessary when measuring the gap, followed by analyzing data to determine the root causes. Improvement of the process is then done as the solution is implemented. Lastly, the process is controlled, standardizing it and documenting the gains so they can be sustained. Leadership is more than merely giving orders and leading teams. It is about establishing an atmosphere where each team member can reach their highest potential, and the right route starts with comprehending the correct processes and instruments. The DMAIC approach and the related improvement tools can help you build the leadership qualities necessary for success. This diagram provides a wide-ranging look at these tools, comprising of measure, analyze, improve, control, process maps, cause and effect matrix, measurement systems analysis, capability analysis, failure modes and effects analysis, multi-vari studies, design of experiments, control plans and statistical process control. Utilize these to unlock the capability of your organization and take your leadership capabilities to the next level. Leadership is not a rare skill, and anyone can become a leader. Research indicates that it is not only about controlling and directing people, but rather inspiring and guiding them towards a shared goal. If you want to develop your leadership abilities, it is attainable with hard work and dedication. When it comes to improving our leadership abilities, we must be open to personal transformation. Albert Einstein famously remarked that, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Therefore, to achieve success, we must be prepared to alter our perspectives. George Bernard Shaw famously said, "If you cannot change your mind, you cannot change anything." This is particularly pertinent in the fast-paced and ever-evolving world we live in today. Those who cannot adjust to the flux of their surroundings will have a diminished effect. By welcoming change and growing our leadership capabilities, we can ensure that our power and impact will only build. Leadership is a skill that requires practice and dedication to master. The quote, "Becoming a leader is like learning to play the violin in public," suggests it takes courage to become a leader. Therefore, it is important to invest time in developing leadership skills. Reading, taking courses or talking to colleagues are some ways to develop the skill, but the best way to learn it is through practical experience. True greatness comes from within, and leadership is the perfect example of this. It doesn't matter how much you know or what skills you have, but rather, it's about having the courage and commitment to make a real difference. Margaret Mead's quote reminds us that it only takes a small group of determined people to achieve something great. In reflecting on the power of leadership, I'd like to express my appreciation for everyone's time and attention.